if you want it.
This is weird, Henry, but by the end of the movie, I kind of didn't want you to put the mask on because it's a little bit hiding. I mean, you make him very charismatic and almost very empathetic through your performance.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with the mask moving forward? How would you like to use it?
Yeah, to be honest with you, the mask is so iconic. And I personally want to put it on as much as possible because I feel like a badass whilst I'm wearing it. But I think there's a time and a place. I think, you don't walk around in your war armor all of the time. I think you go in, especially if you're an agent, especially if you're trying to infiltrate. And I think that's something that we've been lacking in the storybooks and the comics and things, is like this world of espionage and G.I. Joes versus Cobra. There's so many moving mechanics. So to be able to play on the outfits and play on those characteristic kind of looks, I think is really important. They will always exist and there'll be a time and a place, but I truly believe that you have to use those types of kind of armors and helmets in the most appropriate times. You can't be like walking around trying to sneak through certain places, like looking as if he shouldn't be there. Perhaps maybe he's in disguise in some respects, but then boop, visor comes on. Let's go. Action.
I love it. The Storm Shadow suit, once you finally get it in, looks incredibly badass. I don't imagine it's easy to fight in, though.
Yeah.
So what accommodations do they have to make so that you can at least move in it?
Yeah, so basically, shoulder pads, they don't go up that high, really, so you can't do none of that movement. And then you can't actually grab the sword from the back, because actually, I don't think any character, because actually the sword's too long for your arm, okay? So that is all, I think we all had a double sword, which was half the size that you could actually take it out. So every time, a little thing, every time you see me take out the sword, that's actually, just for the takeout shot, we had to have a separate takeout shot. That's a CGI sword that comes out because they had to replicate, do it. Otherwise it's physically impossible, man.
How do real ninjas do it?
Yeah, well, to carry it on the back, maybe not that. Maybe keep it in the sheath. I don't know. Yeah.
If you survive, you will gain access to our knowledge and our power.
I do like the fact that Scarlett, after this movie, might end up becoming a character who inspires a young girl to sort of mimic big action, and pretend that she's got weapons and running around. So who was that character for you from the movies?
Oh man, there was this show called Totally Spies. We were living in Singapore and it was about 3 women who just kicked ass and got stuff done and would defeat bad guys. I don't remember what network or where it came from, but I remember Totally Spies, and there were these 3 undercover female spies, kind of like Charlie's Angels, but without the
That's what I was going to say. That sounds like a Charlie's Angels ripoff. Someone's going to get a phone call.
But it wasn't. There was no Charlie, so.
Well, I kind of wish I had this film growing up, because I think all the female characters in this film are so they're so powerful and can stand their own ground and then some. And yeah, I think I liked a lot of anime characters, like Studio Ghibli protagonists like Nausicaa and Princess Mononoke and all that. Yeah.
Let me think. I remember I was completely obsessed with Cruella when I was a little girl. Cruella.
Okay.
And it's very difficult to choose just one,
So you've had a penchant for bad characters then?
Yes. I don't know why, but I felt very, because at the end that shows some imperfection about women, which I like. So
more interesting to explore.
Yeah, because it looks sometimes that to be a woman, it's just being polite and do everything like you have to do, in the way. So I really love when female characters got like evil, you know?
I've been following you for some time.
Do I know you?
I know you, Snake Eyes.
Henry, I think one of the best compliments that I can give this movie is that I felt the impact of every punch and every kick that was delivered and absorbed by you. I'm wondering what you can do on set and with your performance to help the audience feel the physicality of the pain that Snake is going through.
Thank you so much. No, we worked really, really hard to make everything as believable as possible, for the actors to be there and then getting those heavy hits, to be rolling around, to be struggling. And that's something that I think we've been sort of lacking in the previous iterations, is that we need to understand, especially being this of an origin story, is that he is not the crazy sort of swordsman that we've all sort of known him to be. He's learning his ways, he's learning his craft. So he's gonna have to go through that ringer to get better. And so we see him get punched in the face, we get him kicked in the ribs, but that makes us understand that, yeah, he's like an everyday guy like you and me. He's somebody who's attuned himself, worked super diligently to become Snake Eyes. He wasn't just gifted these abilities. It's something he's had to really work hard for. And I think it works in building out this kind of universe that we want, based in a reality.
You saved my life. I looked into your eyes and I saw honor.
I think the hook a lot of G.I. Joe fans is the bond that gets established between Tommy and Snake. It's, you know, it's one of those rivalries that they've really bought into. So how did you and Henry sort of ensure that this emotional bond was forged in between the big action set pieces?
Yeah, I mean, it was something like, because Robert really advocates rehearsal, so we were something that we explored a lot, and life, what do you call it, like art reflects life, etc. So Henry and I are very similar, very different, and we've come from similar parts of the world, so we've just, but then gone on very different journeys and led very different lives since. And then so we're on the same thing, and it's a bit surreal, you know, you're on this big Hollywood film, you know, two leads of Asian heritage doing this. Yeah, you just go to work, man. That's the main thing. You go to work, you find out what the fans want, you do scene analysis, you break it down, etc., etc.
Obviously, Baroness had a history long before we meet her in this film. I'm wondering how much of that is even important to you. Did you have questions that you needed to know about what she'd done prior in order to portray her, or did you really just focus on what was in the script?
You know, I had a lot of conversations with Robert, the director, about how the Baroness should be, because we knew that it's a character that was did before, but we wanted to do something different, you know. We wanted to show her superpower, her, how do you say it, when you're always in control of everything. So we thought, okay, she's clever, she's bold, but she has a lot of sense of humor as well, right?
Oh, actually, yeah, I thought the character development in this movie was so much more interesting than the action. You know, I was more rooted in learning more about these different individuals.
Right? And that was the funniest part for me, to see that she's like chill and she's enjoying every single moment. So I think that was something that it came to our minds when we were like talking about the character, and I think it works.
This is a launching pad for her, and I kind of like the fact that the stuff for G.I. Joe is kind of saved for the back half of the movie. So I'm curious what you would like to explore with her, should you guys get a chance to keep going forward.
Yeah, I would really like to see where Scarlett came from, and you know, get to know her a bit more if there is another movie. I don't know though.
The journey from here is yours to decide.
One element of this film that I really loved is the mystical sort of bizarre elements that get into it. And without giving away any teases, the third challenge in this film, I hope you are prepared for fans to be handing you snakes, maybe sending you snakes. Are you ready for that?
The 3 challenges in the what now?
Oh yeah, you know, the Arashikage clan is thousands of years old. And the mysticism behind that clan is a really important one for the culture of it. And so to be able to sort of have an element like that within the story and have it make sort of sense was really important. I think it goes to establish the feel and vibe and the importance of such a long-standing group such as the Urashikage, and the bestowment of expectation for someone like Tommy to take over the reins and the devastation that it brings with it. So it was amazing to film those things, and I'm so glad that you've seen the movie, because you can really sort of tell how much work we put into trying to make it as appealing to everybody all around the world.
I think it's really important that Paramount chose to hold Snake Eyes until everybody was able to start getting back to theaters. And
absolutely.
I think it's really important now that this film is one of the ones that's welcoming audiences back. How important is that aspect to you?
I mean, I think film, going to a theatre is such a communal experience, and I'm really hoping that people will have a lot of fun watching this film, because it is a very action-packed, fast-paced, character-driven film, and I really hope that people will have a good time watching it.
Join us. This is your destiny.